How much would a TKO cruise be? Probably about 700,000 to get on the boat.
Is this company stupid?
Or are they? Well, no, clearly not, because look at what's happening with the Saturday night's main event.
Clearly, they are stupid because they could have ran a much bigger building, and they probably should have known that. I love that they screwed up his final run so much that they were like, man, we're not even going to be able to run a stadium for this. We better just put this in an arena. And then they realized now with the ticket sales of like, oh shit, we could have run a stadium. Remember when this was announced? We all thought it was going to be a stadium. It's like, you can run a stadium for John Cena's last show. This is a big deal. John Cena's last match. It'll easily sell out a stadium. The demand for this is going to be insane. And they screwed it up so bad that they're like, we'll just run an arena in DC.
Where the Commanders play, is that closed? That building?
Is it closed? No, the Commanders play there.
No, I mean like the dome. Is it domed in and closed?
Oh, who cares? Just play. Going outside.
Yeah, it's December in Washington.
So?
It's cold as hell.
Deal with it.
No, nice. No. Commanders Stadium.
It's Northwest State. No, it's not domed.
It's not domed. So that's why you can't run it.
The new that's the new stadium when they have it later on. It's not built yet, apparently.
It's December, and so the NFL season is on. Where would they go?
I love how it had to be DC. It never had to be DC.
No, DC just paid the most amount of money. That's the only reason.
And some other city would have paid more money if they were getting a stadium show.
But I don't know if that's how it was positioned. Like if it was positioned as, can it be a stadium show? I don't know.
That's how it should have been positioned. That's the point.
I don't disagree with you, but my point is, like, did TKO say, like, do you want John Cena's last match event? And they were just like, yes, but then there was no more conversation after that. Was it which venue would you run? What would work? Like what? I'm curious about the negotiations and the logistics behind it, because like you said, this could have been in a stadium. And I agree with that. The way that they screwed up this entire retirement run has been it's a separate conversation, but it clearly plays into what we're looking at for December. I'm of two mindsets. It's like, yes, could have filled the stadium, could have done great. At least, okay. I see a lot of people being like, this many people are in the lineup to go and do this. We could have filled a stadium with this. 50,000 plus people in a lineup could easily be looking at how much tickets are and just like wondering if I could do this. And of that, like, how many are actually pulling the trigger to buy tickets? That's a different conversation, because you can only have so many tickets bought. I don't think 50,000 people would have been buying tickets right away at the prices that they were expected to pay. I think
this is the pre-sale.
I understand that, but I think some people just wanted to know if they could.
They could have easily gotten 45 to 50 in a stadium for this. Instead, they're going to do 20 in this arena.
They're still going to make a shit ton of money because people are still paying the balance of the price that would have been to scale for a stadium show.
They could have done a stadium here. They should have done a stadium. Everyone, remember when it was first announced, like, Fenway, that's where they're going to do this at. They could have easily done a stadium for this.
I don't disagree.
They've screwed this whole thing up.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of par for the course. That's been the entirety of his retirement run. It's been screwed since the beginning. It's never been much. But John's gonna have his last match, and the dignitaries will eat it up, and people will hopefully eat the dignitaries. Take that as you will.
Fenway in December. I don't care about this cold. Oh, it's too cold. Nut up. It's John Cena's last match.
Who was talking about Fenway in December? Was that something legitimately being discussed, or was that something that people were just saying like, oh, Fenway in December would be great?
I don't think anybody legitimately discussed a stadium. It was when John Cena's last match, when the whole retirement tour was announced, everybody speculated of like, oh, what are you going to do? Are you going to do a pay-per-view? Are you going to run a stadium? Where's it going to be? And one thing people landed on as speculation. Nothing was officially announced until it was officially announced. But people landed on, oh, what about Fenway? Because Boston, you do a stadium. People thought it might be a pay-per-view that they would build around. Then it just turns out it's a Saturday night's main event. It all just seems botched. Like you're putting it on Saturday night's main event, which is just on Peacock. It's not even on NBC at this point because they screwed over the NBC deal by trying to run against AEW, and Goldberg's last match didn't draw anything. So they didn't even get this thing on NBC. It's not a pay-per-view. It's just Saturday night's main event on Peacock. Now they don't even have the Peacock deal to continue to promote it unless you're watching the NXT PLEs. Hopefully they promote it on like the Sunday night football games, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. I watch Sunday night football every single week, and it ain't like I haven't seen anything for it. Maybe I missed it. Very possible I missed it, but they haven't promoted it there. So it's on Saturday night's main event. It's at an arena in DC. I understand DC paid for it and everything. Again, I don't know how this was presented of where would some other city had paid more if they're like, oh, it's a stadium pay-per-view? Yeah, we'll pay top dollar for that. DC was like, oh, it's just an arena Saturday night's main event. Okay, we'll pay this. They could have gotten so much more out of this. For a company that loves money and loves bleeding fans dry, they didn't do it here. But they didn't do it not because they didn't want to. I'm sure they would have wanted to if they could have. They just screwed it up and didn't think it was going to be as big of a deal as everyone knew it was going to be. It's John Cena's last match. It's John Cena, the face of the company for 20 years. The guy you call on your television show the greatest of all time. The person who has the world title record in your company. And you thought an arena show on Saturday night's main event was the proper setting for his last match. You guys are fucking dumb.
They're going to make so much money on stupid shit. It's crazy. They're going to have like, look at John Cena, $500. Take a picture of a John Cena statue, $50,000.
But they could have done all of this anyway. None of this was going to preclude them from doing it. They could have gotten more on a site fee, and they could have gotten more in the tickets because they ran a stadium. They could have gotten more, and they didn't do it. Again, not because they didn't want to do it. It's because they were too stupid to do it.
Listen, I largely agree with you. I'm curious to hear what their line of thinking is going to be, what PR spin they put on it. There were opportunities for them to make this a lot bigger, but this is the silliness that they've put themselves in. This is the opportunity that they themselves have lost. They're stuck. They've got that venue. People are going to overpay. They're going to be scalpers galore. And some people are talking in the chat about like, do they care more about getting Trump in the building? And I don't think that they over care about it. I think you're more likely going to see like Hegseth and RFK in there, and then any of the other Fox and Friends people who are now in positions of government, regardless, whatever. Those people will probably be there, and who knows if Trump shows up? I don't think he will, but we'll see. It's John Cena. I don't know who that guy is.
It's both. They only do it for the money. They've kind of made that clear, and they're also dumb because they could have made a lot more on this. It is both in this instance. They would have if they thought of to do it. You're telling me they wouldn't have gone to other cities and be like, yeah, we're going to run a stadium. We're going to get a bigger site fee. We're going to sell more tickets, get more fans in the buildings. If they thought of doing that, if they thought it was going to play that well, for some reason they didn't. Which is very surprising because that's usually how they are. They did not run an arena in DC and Saturday night's main event because they were like, we want John Cena's last match to be affordable for people. This is how we think John Cena should go out. This is the best for the fans. They didn't do this because this was best for the fans. They did this because this was the best option they thought they had. And if they thought they had a better option, if they realized they had a better option, they would have 100% done that.